Last race in the series, race number 8, and it was on Sunday. It was the only race on Sunday. So let's take a look and see what we got here. 11 o'clock start, which I don't think is right. I think it was a 10 o'clock start, and 7 knots. And let's look at the forecast because it does turn out to be a little bit interesting here. So here we go, 10 o'clock start right here. Winds are just around 10 knots, and it just dies off hard. And we see that in the race actually pretty hard here. And let's see what happens. We get a little bit of a right, a left, and a right all kind of jacked up in here a little bit. Wind died to the left, and that's what happens kind of from this direction. But let's go ahead and look at the race and get over here. Okay. Pinta does win this race, even though they get DSQ'd after the fact, but they did win this race here. So let's play this out a little bit. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Here we go. What's our start time? Our start time here is 7:05. So if we back up here a little bit, let's zoom in a little bit. A lot of we felt, even though it turned out to be the right was a little bit more favored here, I think seemed to be more pressure on the left, but the wind did end up kind of squeezing right through this process. But let's see kind of what plays out here. Here we go, 30 seconds. Let's go back to a minute. We are at a minute. Everybody a little bit earlier on, right about a minute. 30 seconds. Pinta awfully close. And nobody was over on the start, and the pin was quite favored. I need to rotate the wind, I think, a little bit more. A little bit more here. Let's see if I can do this just a little bit. Oh, it's too much. That looks a little more accurate on the angles there. So let's just play this out now. Off we go. Pinta immediately tacks and crosses the whole fleet. Odd's able to get out and cross the fleet, which I think turned out to be very positive. We felt we wanted to get back a little bit early just to kind of protect. Wasn't 100% sure. I knew the confidence in the left, but you can see sub 2 definitely gets a little bit of a lift up here. But what ends up happening is it gets really light at the top on the left. I think that's what ends up being a little bit of the problem in this, if I remember this first beat here. Yeah, people got definitely stuck out on the left side of this this tracker here. Even though it is a lift, you can see it coming. Let's see what the boat speeds tend to be. Bounce around forward. It's starting to slow down a little bit. They're in the 3s here. We're still just squeezing 4s and 5s. Odd has to take another hitch out. Was able not to tack a lot, and that really helps in light air. Just keeping momentum, keeping boat speed. And even though it was a little more of a lefty in here, the pressure we've had, I mean, if we try to slow down here for a second, 5-5s, 5-0s, 5-5s, 5-2s, 5-1s. So a little bit and that's what I think pulls us across really the whole group here. Pretty lucky on the ley line, nobody tacks on us. We didn't have to go too far. Look, just really light up in here. I was able to put Pinta and us around. In really good shape. We get crushed on the last downwind leg, but you'll see that coming here. All right, we'll slow things down here again a little bit. Zoom in here a little bit. I think we actually passed Pinta here up this beat. We'll see what happens here. Sure doesn't look like that's the case. Maybe they were farther ahead than I thought. Again, just seen last leg, pressure on the right, felt a little, just wanted to protect the right a little bit more. It seems like it got so soft in the left there. What I didn't really realize here is the reason it went up the right side was because of pressure. And you'll see what happens when people jibe out early and stay down this side of the race course. It goes. Sub 2 jibes out early. They got a little bit more pressure. We start to come back. And you can see we had a really light air spot in here. Really got light. I mean, we're on, port heading straight the mark, still a little more pressure over here. So this side, just in that last two legs, going up the right, making sure up the last beat, take that into account when you start to go downwind. But there is a penalty to jibe out early under the whole fleet, at the end of the day. Bam, bam. And let's look at the data sheet. Here's your data sheet. Take a look at that. And that's the last race.